Welcome, viewers, new and returning to Saviours RPG, our weekly Dungeons and Dragons stream. And welcome to episode 2 of our current storyline, Patchwork. We are down one player at the moment, but they will hopefully join us at some bit. So apologies if our overlay is a little bit borked at the moment, but that should resolve itself. You can find us here on Mixer, on Twitter, Discord, and YouTube as Saviours RPG. And we're really grateful for any new followers, and we will read out new followers at the end of our stream. We are currently journeying in our new homebrewed campaign setting of Beatha Ryaban, or as its inhabitants know it as the Ribbon. This is very much a work in progress, and you probably witnessed some of it being made through these storylines. So it's quite exciting to move forward with that. It's a little bit nerve-wracking occasionally when I get asked a question. I don't know what's happening anywhere. So if you see my eyes go a little bit and I stop rolling on, that'll be why. Well, we're glad that you've chosen to spend this little bit of Sunday with us. And without further ado, I will let the players introduce themselves and a little bit of their characters. And I'm going to pick on Jabberwocky to begin with to see if he's listening.
Hi, my name is Jabberwocky. I am a streamer on Mixer. My likes and dislikes are long walks on the beach and long walks on the beach. I play the character named Erithea. They are a warlock of an unknown, of the Veil. I was gonna say unknown god, but that's because I forgot it for a brief second. Beyond that, that's me.
Fair play. Emeros?
Hello. Yeah, I'm Emeros, and I play Marion, the human swashbuckling bard. Marion.
Also,
I like it.
Also, the Ribbon fan club member of John Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
I made that joke last week and it's terrible, but I'm going to continue with it. Dombro?
Hello, I'm Dombro, and yes, I know that the webcams are all kinds of scuffed today because there's 4 people instead of 5 in the call. That's just what happens. But I play Grashtar, and Grashtar is a orc of the Shuna region. He's a Red Skull orc is what they're known as, or the Clogon Darrig. And yeah, he is a fighter, and yeah, he's a cool dude and an angry man who likes to fight stuff. So yeah.
Guess Jabberwocky.
You may ask, how does he know his skull is red? They've checked.
Well, kind of because of the paints that they have on their head.
They have red bones. It's canon now.
Thank you, Vic. Thanks for the host. Host us for 12 viewers. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, we can add that as canon. They have red bones. Our missing player at the moment, who, as I say, will hopefully be joining us soon, is also Terrorblades, and he is playing a human wizard called Morunglach the Heritile. I think I pronounced that well.
I'll just put that picture up just so people can see.
He is a creepy MF, and yes, we don't really know an awful lot about him other than he doesn't like interacting with the other characters, preferring to read. So, indeed. As I said, this is episode 2 of our new storyline, Patchwork. Last week, we saw the characters, some of them meet each other. They were sort of in 2 parties of 2 on a caravan travelling from the city of Invarach to a small village called Diliati's Well. Grash and Marion have been employed as guards, and the other 2 were just passengers. And they came across the corpses of 2 hill giants that were starting to be scavenged by some kobolds and a small red dragon wormling. And after dispatching them fairly swiftly, They investigated the scene and saw the grisly remains of these hill giants, where patches of skin and muscle and essential organs seemed to have been removed. Grash and Marion had attempted to track the thing, and did so successfully for a while, as it seemed to run, in inverted commas, in this sort of bounding leap where it would sprint for a while and then bound in the air and then land and sprint for a while and bound in the air again. And it curved away from the road that the caravan is following off into the mountains. You've spent the rest of the journey to Diliati's Well passed fairly uneventfully, and you have arrived in the village. You've been there a couple of hours. You've gone and spoken to the city guard, who have explained that these mutilated remains have been found around the village, but nothing had been found for a while, and this is by far and away the largest creatures that have been so mutilated. And whilst they've not given you a bounty, they've said that if you go out and solve whatever is causing this, then there probably would be a bounty paid at the end of the day. They have also given you a name of a local miner called Hairmere, who had been telling tall tales. Most people have dismissed them as the ramblings of a hermit, but in light of these things, there maybe be a little bit more belief going. And we ended last week's stream as you all stood in front of the Pool and Peak Inn, looking to go in, and I think it's sort of late afternoon at the moment, and I'll bring you over to the page of our little village. So, what would you all like to do to start today?
I would like... It's the start of the day, end of the day, middle of the day.
Late afternoon, early evening.
I would like to have some dinner. And question some tavern people.
That's fine. So are you all together? That's one thing I couldn't quite remember. I think you were all four of you together. You'd met just at the door to the inn, I think?
I think
sure.
Specifically where we left off was me and Marion had gotten the name of the guy who had the description and stuff, and we were just leaving the guards' barracks. Evidently, we're probably picking up where we meet at the inn. Mm-hmm. Would be what I presume.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, can I get that name? Because I didn't take that down the last time.
The inn's name. The inn's name is the Pool and the Peak.
Okay, but also the name of the guy.
Sorry, are you talking the guard guy or the owner of the inn?
The crazy guy he said was talking about a weird...
It's called Haemir, so Haemir.
And to my knowledge, he gave us directions. It was like south something.
He said, come back tomorrow morning, and he would have a basic map drawn up of how to get to him.
Excellent. So we meet with Erythea and more.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Don't worry. Just doing this.
Ah.
Yeah. It's scuffed. It's Saviours.
We have good news.
As it should be.
A confirmation from our Moore friend. He did confirm that he is going to be late.
That's fine. Don't worry.
We apparently just didn't hear it. So we're bad friends.
The worst.
We are. But it's fine. So you bump into each other at the front of the Pool and Peak Inn. Like most of the buildings in the settlement, it's a stone-built, well-built building, made from obviously local stone, timber frame, slate roof, thick, well-built walls, mostly to withstand what you would imagine be very harsh winters here, rather than. Oh, I'm getting really bad feedback again. And also to keep out the blazing summer sun. Seems to be fairly quiet on the inside. There's a wee bit of music in the form of somebody with a pan flute and a tambourine type thing. Just sounds almost like practicing. A couple of people murmuring in the corners.
Marion, do you want to get us a room?
Yeah, leave that to me.
Uh-huh.
You go order something. I'm starving.
Okay.
And Crash Tower will just head over. Is there menus? Like, I wouldn't have thought so, but I don't know. Where would he order food?
I mean, what you see when you go in the door is there is a large rectangular tap room, and there is an oval bar in the middle of it, so you can go right the way around it if you wish. There's many small sort of bar stools around the oval, and then around the edges of the bar there are benches and seats for up to about 6 people at each one. And there is, behind the bar, a very jovial-looking halfling who is wearing a blue-green tweed waistcoat with polished horn buttons down the front and a very bright blue silk handkerchief folded into the breast pocket. It looks very dapper. And he turns to you as you come in. All right. What can I do? You're obviously new here.
What gave that away?
Well, I've never seen you before, and I know everyone in the town.
That would make sense.
So, what can I do you for?
I believe that this gentleman and this gentleman would like food in the room, and I would like food in the room and the drink.
Well, we are an inn, so that's exactly what we can do for you. And he's just like explains to you that he's got 2 double rooms free, so you can have one between each of the 2 of you. They are 5 silver a night, and he says, take a seat, and he'll have some food brought over. I think it says like a nice sort of chicken stew with sort of root vegetables and stuff like that. And as to drinks, what would it be? Do you want beer, wine, spirits?
Yes.
Man after my own heart.
Is my religion allowed to drink?
Make it up.
It's your character.
It's your religion. I'm asking God this.
You're not. The one thing I will say is you're not.
Let's ask the chat.
Hey, chat.
Does his religion drink? Yes or no? Drink, Dan.
All right. I'll have the beer, ale, ale.
Looks at you curiously. Absolutely. Go and take a seat, and I'll bring them over. And he sort of gestures to Marion and is like, the same for you? Sort of thing.
No, just water. And what was it on the day's menu?
Chicken stew. It's a small place. I can't. I just have to make what we can. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of choice.
It will do. 2 of those.
Fair play.
Just water for drinks. I'm fine.
So, what brings you to Diliadi's well? Is it to sample the waters? And he looks at Marion because he's the one that's asked. The mystical healing waters of the well.
First time I heard of it.
Yeah, they think we were just traveling in the caravan, and this is where it ended up. It's kind of a spot in between a spot to get to the next spot.
Guards, then.
Oh, those two are.
We are much more than just guards. On that note, I would like to speak to you, Mary, if that's possible.
Oh, yes. We'll have the table. We'll be sitting over at this table.
He nods to you. No problem. Do you want your drinks to begin with, or do you want me to bring it all with the meal?
Yes.
To begin with, and then probably a second round with the meal.
Not a problem. So he sort of sees where you go. You sit down, and he brings over some beers and a bottle of wine and a pitcher of fresh water, and then scuttles off. Starts sort of shouting to someone in the kitchen for all the chicken stews.
So what can I help you with,
For
G-Man?
It is Grash or Grash Tar.
Grash Tar.
Indeed. For someone so meager, you showed great ability earlier today.
That is because I don't know what you were expecting, honestly. I'm pretty capable myself. I can do the average attacking and the defending.
It was good. Impressive, even.
Well, thank you.
Me and Marion, we search for big prey. And we think we might have found some. We spoke with the guards earlier, and they gave us more information on this beast with which we came across earlier. Potentially...
Yeah.
Or is doing, at least. We didn't actually see the beast.
No, but I could envision him.
Yeah, was it big?
He was huge, 9 foot plus.
That is rather big.
Yes.
Well, I'm not against fighting creatures. That is, I have a bit of a special connection with the Veil. I don't want to diminish your excitement about whatever this 6-foot man is, but 9-foot man. But have I told you about how big the zombies are on the moon?
Excuse me?
Yeah, if you want big prey, just look no further than in the sky. On the moon, which the name of I wrote down.
Well, and this is your
on Bayor's favor, full of undead,
and
big ones.
This is your quarry.
That is my quarry, the moon.
Okay, it's a big quarry.
It is the biggest.
I must complete the Tangra Do if I am to return to my village.
Is that what is that? Is that the 9-foot man?
That is the 9-foot man.
I'm down.
I would like the help of people who seem meager but are strong.
I fit that bill.
You do, definitely.
I would call it more an inner strength. Because if you're talking about just straight up brawn, man, this table would cause some problems.
What's wrong with the table? I think
I'm very
nice.
weak and it is very heavy.
Oh, I see.
Just so heavy. Like, just look at it. It's all wood. Ugh.
Ha 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 ha.
I think as that sort of conversation comes, like the halfling comes over and sort of with a wee tray and puts out 4 steaming bowls of seems like very good hearty chicken stew in a nice thick broth. Is everything okay? Do you want another Another round of drinks? Yep. Mm-hmm.
We would like that and probably some answers to our inquiries if you are willing and have time.
Okay, I'll go and get the drinks and I'll come. And he sort of scuttles off, pours some more drinks, comes back to you and goes, well, I suppose a little bit of introductions to begin with. And he sort of puts his hand out to each of you in turn and goes, the name's Adelgrim Panther. Just call me Adel or Ads.
Crash there
Will
just looks
do.
up and down awkwardly.
Oh, good to meet you, Ads.
Yeah, good to meet you as well. So, what can I do? You said you had questions.
Yeah, a few actually. Have you heard anything about these killings on the roads and the mutilated creatures that appear around here?
Mutilated creatures, yeah, that's the talk all around here, but I've not heard of killings on the roads. So what's that? He sort of looks a little bit sort of concerned at that.
Up the road, there has been people. We found and stumbled upon something's kill.
Oh,
I don't think
Yep.
he means humanoids. Does
oh,
he?
no,
I don't know.
no, sorry. On our way here, we found some hill giants that have been sliced open in the same fashion.
His eyes go wide, like hill giants. That's they are scary big things, and they don't usually come quite down as low down the mountain as Diliadi's well. So that's odd for them to be here, and it's even stranger if something's killed them.
Oh, it was really close as well. Just over there.
You can see his eyes glaze over a little bit as he's just like, okay. And these were...
He is obviously just trying to make him feel a bit uneasy.
right, so you deliberately trying to make him
Yeah.
uneasy.
Yeah.
This lovely sort of the epitome of a halfling, and you're trying to make him feel scared. That says a lot about Marion.
Yes.
I think Grash will look overhearing this. Is the halfling still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
It's fine. Grash is just awkwardly looking at him.
Okay. And I think he starts pressing you for more information about, the sort of things, and if you go into it, that thing as well. We thought whatever was doing this had left the area because we hadn't had any word of mutilations in a while, but this is big. Have you spoken to the guard yet?
Oh yeah, we just came back from there before we
Good.
entered your step.
Good. It's important that they know, because I think they've eased off with the patrols and things recently, just because they thought that whatever it was had moved away from the area.
It has strange tracks. We
You
managed
don't
to
see?
track it. Yeah, we managed to track it for a while.
Did you see it?
Nope. It got away. Or we never got close. I'm not sure. It had a very strange movement pattern.
Well, I wouldn't know about anything like that, but whatever it's doing, the fact that it's weird and strange does not surprise me.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, if there's no other questions, or
well,
anything else I can
I
help
guess,
you with?
I guess less specifically, is there anything going on in the city? Any festivals coming up? I don't know how long we're going to be here, but I mean, maybe something exciting is coming, and maybe we cut in just in time for the latest harvest or summer or spring or winter festival.
Well, you're very you're very kind calling it a city, but there's only about
Right, I keep forgetting.
300 people here, so pretty much every
Village.
Saturday night's a festival in here. It can get a little bit rowdy, but no, just quite quiet, really.
That makes sense. Okay, I just wanted to confirm. I keep forgetting that it's a village, not a city. I don't really know what the difference between the naming structures are, but I will keep it in mind.
Well, on general terms, if you can see across from one side of the settlement to the other, it's a village.
Oh,
Cities are huge.
I guess that is true. Right, I think that is
Tribal
everything.
of the Clogandaric dwarf this place.
Maybe
Sorry,
that is a
he's-
city.
He says super awkwardly and out of turn.
Maybe that is a city.
There's no city.
Maybe it is big village, different from regular village.
Huge camp.
Big
Marion,
camp.
why are we asking
Yes.
so many questions of this child?
Oh, don't ask me.
Okay.
It was our new friend. Sorry,
Eddie.
Eddie.
Harry.
Mm. Nice to meet you, Eddie. Sorry, bit distracted.
Oh,
in my
sorry.
thoughts.
Grashtar. This is what is known as a halfling. They are full-grown adult and owning a bar.
Yeah, they look like kids.
And he
Oh.
puts his hand on his chest and sort of does a wee sort of half bow to you.
Well, hello.
They are actually rather fantastic people, and they have a rich and developed culture that if you took the time to talk to one, they would happily tell you all about it. But I think he has a bar to run and doesn't have time to tell us all about his fantastic lifestyle.
Good.
Well, I will take my piece then in that case. Just gesture over when you're wanting more drinks or anything else. And he sort of scuttles off unless anyone has other questions for him. Oh, you're pushed to talk, Jabber. I can see you're speaking.
I was just talking to myself saying, no, I don't have other questions.
Fair enough.
So, as I was saying, we are to meet with the guard tomorrow for a better map to meet this fellow. His name was Hamier or something like that.
Hamer. I
He
believe.
is being treated as a madman, but he spoke of a monstrous thing which had patches for skin, which sounded a lot like the way their corpses were left.
Like a doll.
I don't know.
A
But
doll.
he explained a big 9-foot thing. It sounds a lot like what we're looking for. Will you join us?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I got nothing else to do in the city. I kind of just passing through, hoping that there was a. I keep calling it the city. It is a village, and
Yeah.
and it's small and doesn't have what I wanted it to have, and so yeah, I'll help you out.
To be fair, it's built for probably the halfling kind. Doesn't need to be big, right?
I guess you're right.
Wonderful. Then it's settled. So
Yep.
Marion walks off to see if he can grab some of the attention of the rest of the people at the bar.
Yeah, there's a couple of humans sort of just sitting at the bar. That sort of classic, just sort of don't really have anything else to do, just slowly passing the time, sipping away on the beer.
Wonderful. So he jumps up on the table and proclaims that he is indeed Marion Lestrade that has come to this village to find.
Oi, now, get down off my tables. I'll not be having you scuffing up those surfaces there with your big raggedy boots.
And he does, one of these things where you step down onto a the chair, and it
Oh, you sort of
tips over.
slowly tip it over. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. What do you think you're doing?
You'll be like this for hours.
Oh, I'm about to tell you. And he goes on to points out to the rest of them that his companion, Crash, the big, mighty orc fighter, and him have been on the road for months now, tracking down beasts of every kind, and
interspersed with this, it'll be Grash explaining to Eri.
There was like 5 cubs and 1 big wolf.
Yeah, roll me a performance check then, Marion.
I will. And let's see. Performance. First roll. That's a 21.
Yeah, so you weave a tale, and the few people at the bar are definitely enthralled with your story, give you a wee bit of a clap at the end, and the barman's obviously been listening as well, and it just sort of gives you a nod and goes, well, I think that deserves a beer, and he gives you a beer, even forgetting that you ordered water.
Thank you, and he hands it to another guy at the bar.
But next time, just use the stage, don't get up on my tables.
Oh God,
For
you
you?
just told him there's
Okay.
a stage.
I know where I'm going to spend if we're not out.
And he sort of charges like, it's literally there.
I make my own stage.
Life is a stage. Sorry.
Yeah, essentially. No, so yeah.
Okay. Do any of you want to do anything else, or will we just sort of skip forward? And are you going to stay in the bar, have an early night?
Grash will sort of, when he's satisfied that he's convinced Dorothea to companion up and party up with them, he will finish whatever drinks are left and whatever drinks Marion has accrued through his bardic ways on the table.
Yeah.
Gump, gump, gump.
Right. Time for bed. And
He will just abruptly go, and as he's going, Marion, as always, will point him, because he won't speak to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Marion will point him to where the room is, essentially. That one, or whatever. And he'll just go in there and just slam the door shut.
And you were all continuing to drink and things like that as well, were you as well? And well, I think, through the course of the evening, if Marion continues to sort of regale the pub with stories as it starts to fill, it's not like a super busy, but there's, by the end, there's maybe sort of 15, 20 people sitting having meals and drinking, and you get the odd round of drinks bought for you as well, but I think overall, what we'll call it a gold with the meal, the drinks, and the room per person marks off.
Yep.
And yeah, you all sleep through.
I will note that when Ari gets to his room, he will open up his magic item and pull out. Basically, he just unfurls a big circle on the floor of his in-room and then just starts pulling out, just housing, house materials. All of his books, a nice candelabra, maybe even a writing desk. He just pulls out of a big hole in the ground and then just folds it back out to make the in-room just like his own house.
Cozy.
This is definitely going to be more fun when you're in the outdoors camping. It's like, my escritoire is necessary for me to catch up. Essential correspondence.
Got candles in there.
Cafe machine.
Yeah, he's and if the camera pans upward, it's imagine a moving van of just stuff inside a hole, and he just folds it back up.
Good. Next morning, who's the first? Who's an early riser?
mean, I'm an elf.
Grash will be up pretty early.
Okay.
I get 4 hours of sleep.
He knows that he has to wake Marion up.
Yeah, no, he usually just gets up, and as he's getting up, he'll just sort of give Marion's cot a thick kick, maybe shift it half a foot.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. You do that. You go downstairs. Adul's there again. Just provides you with sort of whether you want porridge or bacon and eggs or something like that. Some breakfast beer, and you are fully sustained and ready for the day ahead. If you did have any healing or spell slots or anything like that, you've had a full rest and I'll get all the usual jazz back. So what are you going to do on the next morning?
Well, I'm going to head over to the guards' barracks when essentially he'll have his breakfast, and after that he'll just go straight over there. He's not planning on sticking around too long.
That's fine. Does everyone join him?
Well, none of the shops are open, I assume, sir.
I mean, they can be if you wait a little bit or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's as early or as late as you guys want. There's nothing pushing you out the door, so it's up to you when you want to leave.
Now I'll go with Grashtar to the guard.
Okay. As you're leaving, Adol's just like, should I keep the rooms for you, or are you?
Yes, please. I'll got the payment right here.
Okay, and so you'll want the two of them for one more night. It's just there'll probably be another caravan coming in looking for rooms.
We are not sure.
We'll do one more night, and then if we are not back by night, give them up.
But you'll pay just now, otherwise I won't.
Yeah, they're paying now. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. So
Marion,
basically,
pay.
Got it.
Got it.
Yeah, that's fine. Not a problem. Okay, you go out. Overnight, you see it has obviously been pouring with rain. There's puddles in the streets. The rain that you can only see sort of in mountainous regions, that it's obviously it's clearing up now, but the sky's dark and overcast, and it's still a bit dim and grey as you go out into the morning light, and make your way over to the guardhouse, and it's the same as it was before. There's people in there.
Marion, you must speak.
Oh, don't worry, I'm on it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God, I'm so bad at that.
Same.
And
Well,
you see the same guard is on duty, and he sort of nods to you.
morning.
Obviously keen, are you? Didn't think I'd see you back quite so early.
Well, I don't got much of a choice. Anyway, how's the map coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm no cartographer. It's just what I have done myself, and so. And then he hands you over a map, and it basically shows. It shows a trail going off to the crownward off the village. Goes through a few valleys and then sort of seems to annotate sort of halfway up a mountain, as I say, to the crownward, which for any new viewers is what north is called in this world. And he says, I've not been out there for months, but it's a hard trek. You'll not make quick going, although it only looks like half a day's on the map. It's probably going to take you a day and a half walking, as it's difficult terrain. There's a few beasts and critters out there, but with what you put away yesterday, I don't think there's anything that you'll come across that'll give you too much bother. Unless you come across whatever killed those hill giants anyway.
Well, we're counting on that. So, either way, thanks for the map. Huge help. And I was wondering, you remember we were talking that there was not being a bounty per se?
I remember.
Well, if to slay that beast and present it you, would there what kind of reward thing?
Well, I think I did speak to Sergeant Vortran, but we can't really put a figure on it because we don't know what it is. So we don't want to. This is the official line of the Sea Shields, is that we can't offer a bounty because we don't know what we're offering a bounty for. So we don't know what payment to give because we don't know how dangerous it is. Now, if this just turns out to be some weird wolves, then it'll be 5-10 gold. But if it's some sort of strange magical abomination, then it could be several hundred. There will be a bounty, but it depends what you're bringing to us, how much it's going to be.
We
Well,
will
just
not
wanted to
return
make sure.
unless there is something big and dangerous.
Yeah, that was pointless.
So we will negotiate on your return then, or I should say Sergeant Voltran will.
Well, while
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
on the subject, you don't happen to have any supplies that we could, any surplus that maybe we could borrow? Let's say.
No,
To
we're
assist
just
us.
we're just a small guard outpost out, and then none of us have got good careers. We're put out here usually just to get us out of the way. You need supplies, you'll have to go and speak to Dewdrop and pay for it with coin like everybody else.
Well, just wanted to make sure. Need to be thorough on these things as well.
Asking's fine, but don't labour the point.
He gives him a wink.
He just nods back. One last thing I'll tell you is Hermir's an odd sort. And nobody, he went back the last time with the village's laughter ringing in his ears because of what he said he saw. But now it looks like there's a little bit more truth in what he said. So you maybe suggest he comes into town till this is all sorted out, because he's pretty isolated away out there on his own. Well, I say on his own, I mean, he does have Lily and Billy with him, so I suppose that's something.
Lily and Billy?
Nobody told you. I thought you'd have asked Adel in the pub about Hamir. He's got two owlbears that he had as chicks. He found their mother had been killed by giants, actually. He's raised them since they were a thing. They roam about. He doesn't keep them as pets per se, but they're tame to him.
He cares about these ones' lives.
Like they're his own children.
Maybe we shouldn't kill them then.
No, not these. That would.
If he has tamed a mighty beast that is
That's a
that is
feat.
deserving of respect.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for the map. Yeah, we should probably be going as soon as possible.
Now,
All right, let's go.
Okay. Whilst we're pausing there, I'll just bring hello, Terror. Sorry if it's my fault if you told me. I've obviously put the wrong date in the channel when you said you were going to be late, so apologies if we were distracting you earlier on, wondering where you were. So far, you've not really missed a great deal. You have met the halfling owner of the inn called Adelgrim Panther, who has introduced himself. You've found a little bit more about some of the rumours hereby, but nothing particularly jaw-dropping. And you have now gone back to it's the next morning. You have now gone back to the guard station and have a little map showing the trail north. Crownward. See, do it myself. I look up and there's just like terror, like in a pizza going, ah!
I gets advantage on pizza rolls.
Yeah, I'm the only one who gets to eat on stream.
Nonsense.
I am a rebel.
None of you get to. Right. So
you've just exited the guard building of the Sea Shields, and yeah, so you're sort of stood in the street looking at the map that you've been given. It's fairly rudimentary. I've not created a map because, like I say, he's not a cartographer, so it's just like a wiggly line going north, groundward. But he's marked some landmarks, like look for the rock that looks like a broken off wing, and the tree that has been struck by lightning and things like that as to markers to the path.
We follow, we head out of the village.
Yeah, I'm just giving you opportunity if you had a discussion or anything else you wanted to do in the village.
Well, hey, Grash, I just gotta ask.
Yes.
We could be heading off to fight something significant larger than we're used to.
Hopefully, yes.
You really think those two are gonna work? Points to your sword and your hammer. Or war pick, I believe it was.
Yeah, he looks back at you sort of with a sort of a wicked snarl.
How dare you?
Look, I'm not denying what they have done this far. I mean, we're here, and I got a lot of stories. But maybe something a bit sharper?
I will not give up the pick.
Oh, no, not the pick then. What about the sword?
Maybe.
So you're not interested in going to the blacksmith just to see if they're...
I am interested in tracking the beast.
Yeah, and we should kill the beast. And I just want to make sure that we're really equipped for what's coming.
I'm not equipped. If I find something, or if something comes my way that I don't have to talk to people for, then yes, you may give it to me.
Oh, well, come on. What do you have me for? I can talk for...
Talking.
Come on, just 2 minutes in the blacksmith. And then we're out.
And no more talking?
No more talking.
Okay.
Are Airy or Airy or more pitching in this conversation at all?
I think Airy's just kind of like standing, bouncing between them as they discuss what's gonna happen, and it's just like, blacksmith Now I'm guessing.
Yeah, we should head to the blacksmith just to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I think Grash will see just the nearest person.
You, where's the blacksmith?
Just like tiny, wee, frightened child with a pail of water. Just go, help me.
Very well.
And he just starts walking that way.
More will reward the child with another dragon show, but it will be a very dopey dragon this time. Last time they cried.
Last time it was a drama. This time it's comedy. You know. He should have been a screenwriter in another world, maybe.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, muted.
No, sorry, I was doing a jabber. I was muttering to myself.
First sign of
so-
madness, you do realize.
Yeah, it's okay. I talk to myself all the time. I was being
Same.
mad for
It's
years.
worrying sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only way to
Um.
make good answers.
Yeah, it's only all the best people are mad. It's very great. It creates for a creative mind. So you quite quickly find your way, as I said to you last week. This is a small village. You can find anywhere, without any directions, just by wandering around blindly for a wee bit, because it's only a few.
Without
yards
scaring
across.
children?
Without scaring children, but that's your choice as a party, so that's fine. And you see a sort of quintessential sort of blacksmith building with forge and anvil open on the sides to try and dissipate some of the heat. There's a fenced off compound behind it that seems to have piles of coal and various different types of ore to be smelted, and there is a large orc working metal even at this early hour on the anvil.
Warning. We would like to look at your stock.
I think Crash will just slap.
He'll just slap down his longsword.
It needs to be better.
He sort of stops because he's striking heated metal, and he sort of stops to glare at you both for a moment and just goes back to what he's doing.
Looks over to
Come on.
Marion.
We got money.
Talk.
Doesn't miss a beat.
Look, we're in a bit of a hurry. Do you think you could give us a hand, help us out? Anything?
He just growls. He continues to beat the metal and just sort of growls. It just like, just wait. This cannot be rushed. Wait till it cools.
Exactly how long would that be?
I think Grashtar recognizes someone who also doesn't want to talk, and he is satisfied in this awkwardness. He's like, yes. So he just sort of back palms.
My brethren.
No, he sort of just puts the back of his palm on Marion, like, shut up.
And it's only 2 or 3 minutes goes by, and you can start seeing the very bright yellowy orange glow of the metal to slowly dissipate down to just orange, and then it turns back to the dull grey. He puts it into a quenching bucket at his feet and goes, right, what were you saying?
New sword. And something a bit sharper, if you have.
He just sort of shrugs his
He
shoulders
says-
like, I have
says
plenty
I'm
of
just-
weapons. Give me a clue. I'm not here to choose. I'm not a personal shopper. I'm a blacksmith.
Better than this. And
I point down to the longsword that he threw onto his table.
Picks it up, praises it a bit. What sort of quality is it for him to appraise?
It is pretty much something that was just picked up in some random delve. So, like, it's medium quality, I guess. It's nothing special about it whatsoever, but it is serviceable.
And I think that's the response you get. And he says, I have weapons that look prettier than this, but it looks functional enough. I'm not sure if I give you one of my swords, it would cut any sharper or do any more damage. It'd just be less shit looking.
Well,
Indeed.
I don't think that's his concern.
No.
Mutters to himself.
I can make that.
If you're looking for magical weapons and such, you're in the wrong place. This is just a small village.
Yeah, well, kind of noticed.
He just looks at you with, like, for fuck's sake, eyes.
You've wasted my time, Marion.
What type
Oh,
of work do you
don't
do
say
here in
that.
the village?
He sort of gestures to the anvil. I'm a fucking blacksmith.
It's a small place. Do they really need a blacksmith?
Look, do you want anything, or are you going to fuck off and let me do my job?
I would like a knife.
That I can do. Dagger, kitchen knife, whittling knife.
I would like a sickle because I'd like to cut in case we come across some like a great tall grass or something.
Absolutely. And he brings out a sickle, goes into the back, and then it's got sort of looks like deer antler horn handle, and it seems to be, it's got that lovely sort of patternation almost of like Damascus steel where the metal's all been folded over on the curved blade. It's, as I say, it's not magical, but I do put a little bit of pride into my work, so it looks quite pretty. But that'll be a gold piece if it suits you.
No, this is good. I'll take it. The gold. Fantastic.
You're a master of your craft. That's really beautiful.
He just sort of nods. Anyone else for any more?
Well, Marion takes just a step back and observes Crash. Well, if you can't do anything for weapon, what do you say about the big guy's armor?
This is my tribal armor. I will not be changing it.
Sort of the blacksmith sort of nods to you, Crash, and goes, your companions don't really understand the tribes, do they?
No.
Could you explain? It's very interesting. I've read some about it, but I don't remember anything currently. It's very
I'm all
bright.
about the time.
And he cuts it over the two of you, goes, I'll let your companion to do that on the road.
I know all
Thank
about
you.
the tribes.
And that's
I don't
the
know
first
what
time
the
with
tribe
the
is,
deep honesty he looks at you.
Thank you.
Like you're letting him leave.
Yeah,
he
that
just picks up his longsword back into the back of his shield and just starts to meander away.
Well, very well.
And unless anyone else speaks to him, he just turns his back to you and picks up the metal that he was working on his tongs and puts it back into the flames and starts working the bellows to get it back up to temperature again.
Eric starts playing with the sickle.
I wanted to ask, we saw something strange the other day. There were huge cut, but made with the sharpness of a scalpel. What type of craft would that be? Is that something that you would know how to do?
I know these scalpels that you talk about, but I lack the finesse in my tools to make such blades.
Oh, okay.
Would have to have come from the. It would have to have come from the city. It's the thinness to make a. It's very, very difficult.
Okay. Well, good work day to you, blacksmith. What was your...
I'm Dulk.
Thank you, Dulk.
Is he orcish?
Yes.
What does he have any markings?
What's his set? What's his crew?
I don't mean to brag, but I just crit some grass nearby.
No, he doesn't seem to have any tribal markings on him at all.
I think there will just be a low guttural, as which is a goodbye.
Mhm. And you get exactly the same back.
Oh, well. Well, it didn't exactly take 2 minutes. Well, at least we know. Off to the road then.
You waste words.
Yeah, but I got the sickle. What if we come across like some tall grass or like vines and we need to cut our way through?
Or herbs.
Or, oh, yeah, did not think about herbs.
Yes. Many interesting herbs nearby. I think I saw some on the road, but my legs hurt, so I didn't want to go get them. Is it bright outside?
It is kind of bright. But it did rain, and then all the sunlight is reflecting off the water and getting you up light and down light. It's very bright.
That's why I'm so warm.
That is why I have a veil on, because it covers up the sun.
Oh, I thought it was a religious.
Yes.
Okay.
It is both. I
Many
picked the religion for the veil. No,
Oh,
I'm kidding. The religion picked me.
yes. That the call came to you.
No, quite literally. I'll explain later.
I don't remember if you've explained it to me before.
I haven't. It is kind of a long story, and I prefer to keep my long stories about the moon.
No, yeah. I'll play you for another zombie.
Not when maybe when we get back to the tavern, we need
Of
that we're
course.
going up. We're going up into the woods into find the hermit and
Old man,
talk to him about the weird skin man.
Yes.
are you going to be able to handle a big, vicious beast?
I've seen many big vicious beasts in my days, sometimes on the road, but mostly in books. I do enjoy books. They're all over in these manuals about the monster.
Grash turns and walks away.
I think he also likes books.
I don't think he knows how to read, so I think you talking about books insults him.
I can teach him how to read.
Do it in a subtle way.
Of course. I'll point and say what it is. That'll help.
And then
On the
spell it
road.
and then spell it out and just do it in a casual, nonchalant fashion.
Of course. He'll not notice anything.
Fantastic.
Knowledge is the greatest source of all things.
I will know, but okay. Agree to disagree.
Did you know that the moon has lots of rocks?
And zombies.
It does.
So, what is your next destination? I think Grash walked off with Marion. Is that where you're off to the gates and off into the wilderness to follow the map? Or?
Yeah, man. Grash is one tracking this shit. He's just going crownward and meandering along the path wherever he feels this map is alluding to.
I take it Marion and Moore, Eddie and Moore are following the others. Yeah, that's fine. So
I think we're like I just did like a 10 feet behind, having our own conversation, just following along.
That's just what I was about to say. Is as you sort of move into the pattern of traveling together as a party for the first time, is that the sort of thing with Grash up front, Marion sort of at his heels, and then a break, and then the other two sort of in their wake?
Marion tries to keep up the pace, side by side with, but usually Grash gets annoyed by it.
And I take it you two are doing the pathfinding as well, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
we have the map.
You have the map. Survival check with advantage because of the map.
Uh, 22.
Okay. So as you study the map, and now that you're out in the countryside, again, now when you were on the caravan coming here, it was plains and then sort of gentle rolling grass and heather covered hills. You're now entering into proper mountain terrain, so it's a very steep path. There is no real path. You're just making your way along gullies and in valleys and things like that, rather than following an actual roadway or anything like that. And it's hard going, even for those of you that are strong and have constitutions. You know, there's pains in the backs of your leg because you're going up. Yeah, more the mighty, as many people know. You know, this is proper hill walking. You know, it's high elevation. You're starting to go up, and your general surroundings start to change. You know, it moves from forestry and shrubs into just shrubs, and there's sort of scree slopes and things like that, and then you go up and over and down into another, and then you're back into the forest and things again. As you're traveling, are you trying to travel at normal pace, stealthily? Are you trying to force march to try and get a bit of extra time?
Grash is keeping a pretty fast pace, and I don't think he's going to be particularly stealthy. However, he will have the knowledge that there may be 2 or more owlbears, and he will keep an eye out for tracks or things that suggest we're entering owlbear country. And then maybe he will slow up, but until then, no.
That's fine. Everyone make a perception check.
14.
My time to shine. 1. That was a 2 minus 1.
Shine on, you crazy
21.
diamond.
Sorry, Emerald, I didn't quite catch that.
21.
Okay. And more?
21 as well.
Okay. So at the same time, the two of you, I think maybe because you've been attuned to it from what happened at the caravan, probably just after you've stopped for your lunch and you're starting off again, and you see another sign of carrion little bit, that where you are at the moment, although you're following the correct path, it's turned a little bit to the duskward, but you can see higher up there's a scree slope above you that's at the bottom of a cliff face, and you can see a gaggle of buzzards or something that seem to be teasing away at a corpse. You would assume, you can't actually see details of what they are, but there seem to be quite a lot of them.
Up ahead could be something familiar.
Grash will just immediately specifically look for signs of the big thing, like footprints, broken trees.
Are you looking around for movement, or are you
No.
investigating? Sort of. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do that. What are the rest of you doing whilst Grash is rolling?
Catching my breath.
Okay.
What am I
Marion
rolling?
prepares.
Sorry, investigation.
Oh wow, this is gonna be okay. So flat 17.
Okay, that's fine.
More favors his back.
Okay, so Arian Moore are just sort of sitting down like because walking in these scree slopes, it's like walking in snow, you know, because your foot's sinking in, or sand that's really tiring, and you're on a slope. Sorry,
And it's wet.
Yeah, and it's wet. Marion,
I'm gonna start stealthily moving up towards
Okay.
woods.
You roll stealth, and in the meantime, with your 17, at this where you are on this bit of the scree slope, you've seen no signs of what you saw the other day. Are you going to move up towards
just under his breath, he'll just sort of speak to Marion.
It is not the same creature, but it may be something big.
Well, and I think you will notice that I'm gone. I've already started.
Marion?
I rolled at 23. This shouldn't.
Okay.
This is nothing new. This is something that can happen.
Yeah, so you slowly start saying, how far away from where you saw the things are you going to stop?
I'm probably not going to stop unless it's like straight out the open.
Okay.
If it's like clearing, then he will probably stop by the edge.
Yeah, that's fine. What are the rest of you doing as Marion stalks off?
There's Silver Eye. Hold on, I'm coming.
It's just a circle of life. There's nothing to be done over there. Just take a rest over here in the sand. And am I sinking more than you?
They might be zombies.
Then this is the one that I won. He just left the moon. And Moore kind of begins crawling on the...
I was just going to ask Grash a question, but I thought it was too... Are you following behind Marion, I take it?
No.
Okay.
Grashtar, he's still just, because he's thinking Elbear, so he's just going to wait and see. It
Okay,
looks like
that's
a kill. If there's buzzards there, it's probably no longer an active scene. But
Yeah.
at the same time, that's what he's looking for in case they come from just an angle from a circle outside of where Marion's going, that he could maybe cut them off.
Okay. So, Marion, you go up and there's some sort of gorse bushes or sort of straggly sort of shrubs, and you can see they stop maybe about 20 feet from the bottom of the cliff, and you feel that you're hidden from view from the birds, but you have a good view that they're pecking away, and it seems like an owlbear corpse that they are pecking over.
Can I perception just to see if there's maybe the other owlbear close by? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely. On you go.
so 8, 7.
Doesn't seem to be anything other than your companions and the birds in the vicinity.
Well, climb up to the edge and scare away.
Okay, yeah, they all take to the air because they're not like giant buzzards or anything. They're just ordinary ones, squawking their displeasure at their meal being interrupted, and walk up. And yeah, there is an owl bear there. Obviously, wounds from the birds eating at it.
Does it the same?
Make a medicine check or an investigation. A medicine or a survival roll, whichever you wish.
Medicine or survival?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sorry, what was that? roll?
Yeah. No, sorry. Just murmuring to myself.
All right, okay.
No, the roll lands on a 17, so 15 plus 2.
Okay, that's fine. So you go over, and the corpse has been fairly well pecked and slashed by the buzzards. So there's a lot of it that has gone from that. But you do notice that there are incisions that are definitely the work of a blade. The buzzards have not done that. With a 17, I think the thing that you are mostly drawn to its attention is the fact that when you look at the owlbear's paws, they have each sort of claw finger has incisions that run up its wrist and into its forearm on all four of its feet. And the claws seem to have been very, very carefully removed, and all of the attaching, sheathing musculature and connecting tendons seem to have all been taken away with it.
I think Grash will just sort of walk up behind Marion as he's doing this, as he can see that it's pretty safe.
In another time, that would have been a suitable trophy.
Yeah, and it's a big old owlbear.
Oh yeah, it's a big one, but there's strange cutting on this one as well. If you look closely here, the talons and everything, they've been claws, they've been removed as well.
Yes, there's skill in the skinning.
And make a perception check, both of you as well.
17.
Let's see, and landed on 13.
Okay. You both, even with that, both of you see there is also, like when you're sort of checking for other marks and you pull the feathers up around its neck, there is a large bright blue collar with a wee bell on it, like people have on their cats, and a wee tag that says Billy.
It is the old man's.
He's not going to be happy about this, but we should probably the news at least so he doesn't run off or something.
Should we return the tag?
It's at least we'll mark this on our map. Maybe he can and wait back here if you want the corpse.
Yes. And
We're getting close.
He does.
It still feels like we're tracking it, but I could not see any of its movements this time.
I mean, you can make another investigation check if you want up in this area, if that's something you feel that Crash would do.
It is. Can I make a survival check instead?
Mm-hmm.
22.
Okay. You look around and you see that not far from where the owlbear's corpse is, you sort of work out, you think it's rolled a bit after it's whatever's happened to it, and actually you move a little bit and there's two big deep divots in the top of the scree slope, as though something's braced itself and jumped. And as you look up on the cliff, you can see there's bits of moss and lichen that have been dislodged, as though something's grabbed onto the cliff and then taken itself up.
Rubbing some of the mud in his hands, he'll just turn to Marion and look him deep with like an excitement, like a lust in his eyes almost.
He has been here too.
And he'll point out the divots and the lichen.
And when he says that, I assume that he turns to Marion, and he also has this, I don't know how to say, for like fake grin, because he does start to realize the size of this thing. And yeah, it's.
So you're trying to pretend like you're also happy.
Oh, he is happy, but he's also a bit scared. You know how excitement and like irrational feelings can sometimes.
There's a smile initially, and then maybe a wince.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is the perfect trophy. Fear not.
Oh, I'm not that scared. I'm more curious about this thing.
Well, we know that this man is not insane.
Oh no, I didn't doubt him. But speaking of, could you make out to where this thing is headed?
Yes, just up there on the mountainside. They like it as point, and he'd point to
Whichever way he would assess it would have moved next.
I mean, it's hard to
Yep.
say because there's like
He'd
a plateau
still-
above. So
He'd still say that though, and he'd still say he'd go that way.
But it moves so freely through the canopy, it could actually be anywhere. We
That is
are
true.
on its trail. That is all I care about.
And I think Marion would just shout to the other two, whatever they are doing. Are they having tea? Did you bring up something from your...
they were coming towards you, but they were going at a slower pace. So I think just as you turn round, Eri and Moore sort of join you at the scene, out of breath and sweating profusely, even though it's in the chilling air.
Is it a zombie?
We're not
No.
hunting zombies.
No, I
It's
mean,
just
is the
dark.
dead thing? Is the dead thing walking again?
Oh, the pet died.
Yes, Billy is dead.
Oh, it's the
Billy.
Oh. And such
So,
a big, handsome boy as well.
Yeah,
Indeed.
he's going to be sad.
The good
Yes.
news is that it was this creature again.
Oh, that is good.
Yes. We draw closer.
We should probably hurry then, because if the man's house is nearby, he might be under attack from this creature. Then that is not good.
And you when Eri says that, Grash, you realise you're not even halfway to where it is on the map because I think Moore and Eri have been slowing you down to the pace than you would have liked, and it you're going to have to spend at least one night on the hillside camped before you get there.
With our pace, we will have to camp soon. So it will be morning before we get there. If this creature has found this old man is dead.
It doesn't look
Yeah.
like the creature has eaten any.
He has taken trophies of sorts.
But it didn't eat.
And you can see when Moore points that out, that seems to be true. It's only the pecked bits that have around the wounds that the buzzards and things have been at.
Some creatures are wasteful, and they kill for the sake of it.
They
But
do, don't they? They
this
seem to
thing-
travel everywhere and seek a perfect.
This thing moves and acts with intelligence. It
But the
seems to
previ-
know what it wants.
But the previous ones we saw also didn't have any type of feeding on them, right?
Did they?
The kobolds were like
No, the
getting them.
kobolds were getting set up to, but no, the hill giants had a lot more skin and organs missing, but its actual flesh was completely intact, apart from a couple of bits where the kobolds had started to hack away with it. But it was obvious that was the kobolds' handiwork rather than whatever had killed them.
Well, Mario looks around just to see, try and figure out what time on the day it is. So
It's sort of early afternoon at the moment. I think I said this happened, just after you stopped for your lunch.
all right,
Um,
yeah, you do.
Maybe-
You've still got several hours of daylight to travel before you need to camp, but you're not going to get to your destination before then.
We should move.
Well,
Maybe it, maybe it eats grass or something. Could be a a herbivore of some kind.
Is the old one dying?
He does that.
We're always dying, Grashtar. It's just that at one point we stopped dying.
They act like me. I don't die anymore.
You don't?
No, immortal.
Oh, That's good arrangements.
Yeah, it kind of works out kind of nicely.
Yes. So you have to see the moon sooner or later.
I'll
Yeah,
get
Grash
there
starts moving.
eventually.
Grash is moving.
Grashtar just walks off. So I think as you know the party sort of gets back onto the road, that's maybe a good point to have our mid-session break potentially. I think.
Yep.
Sounds good.
I could definitely do with a top up of my water and we stretch.
I drink a lot of tea.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us thus far. I hope you're enjoying. If you are, please leave a follow and stuff down below. That helps us more than anything else at the moment. So thank you so much. And we will be back in 5/10 minutes, something like this. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Comfort break. All the
Okay,
rest.
yeah, you were muted, so now you're not. So go ahead and say that again.
All right. We're professionals.
Yes, we're unmuted now, by the way.
Basically, I was just saying, welcome back. Hope you have managed to get up, have a stretch of the old legs, and something to eat and drink. And we are back into the game. So you've moved on away from the corpse that you found, and you're journeying for the rest of the day. If Grash is in the lead again, if I can get you to roll me a d20, just a flat d20. Just
4.
tell me. Okay, so about
16 hours later.
about an hour after you found this, you're coming, and the difficult journey gets even worse as the torrential overnight rain returns, and it is just spitting bullets from the sky. That, you know, this is the occasional, you're getting in, it's sort of autumn, and you're getting that late autumn that's heavy rain with the occasional hailstone in, and it's pinging off everyone's armor.
Just specifically when it starts to rain, what Grash does is his whole setup is like, it looks like a mess, but it works somehow. But he pulls his shield up over his head, like it looks almost, fill in the blank, Raiden-esque, but like it's a flat sort of ball shield, and he's just walking along, doesn't complain or anything. But yeah,
Moore seems to be equally as old as before. He doesn't seem really bothered by the rain. He's just kind of meandering through the rain.
Any cloth clothes that any of you have, even with the shield, is quickly absolutely saturated, because you not only are you going occasionally, you are occasionally pushing through undergrowth and things like that, and it is very uncomfortable and very damp, and there's lots of chafing and stuff like that. Jabberwocky, question from the back seats.
Yes. If I have mage armor, does that keep my clothes dry?
Is the rain attacking you?
does it specifically
Yes.
say if it keeps the water out?
It doesn't. But if I consider the rain a projectile, it doesn't have a high enough AC to hit
Kind
me.
of is a projectile.
It's not a projectile aimed at you. It's an AoE.
If I'm being attacked by the sky, it needs to roll to hit me.
I'm genuinely considering that. I'm just reading the actual spell words. Yes, it says a protective magical force surrounds you until the spell ends. Absolutely, you are bone dry if you are using a spell slot
Yep.
to cast Dharma.
I don't need a spell slot to cast it. It's part of my
that's-
invocations. So, and also every time a hailstone it just like pings off and a suit of armor appears and just pings away. Just like,
Yeah, so you're getting that sort of like a brief flash of the force field sort
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
every time a hailstone hits. I like
absolutely.
this. I like
yeah.
mage armor.
Yeah.
That,
No, no,
that's a nice
it's-
flavor to it. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
Area
the
the
rest.
moon cries.
The moon does not cause rain.
Are you sure? I'm just
The
messing
moon.
with you.
The moon doesn't cry, but the people on the moon sometimes cry if they're able to cry.
Zombies don't
But
have
normally,
tears.
most of them don't. but
Except for the
people-
shriekers.
Let's
what?
keep moving. I prefer the chafing.
There's only one type of zombie that cries, and that is the will-o-wisp.
Oh,
The wallow wisp. Sorry.
The wallowing will-o-wisp.
Waluigi wisp.
Well, and the banshees, they cry, but only when they scream.
I think the
don't
garage
understand
might cry.
anything you just said.
And let's just say that if the rain came from the moon, it would all be zombies.
Do we still have light?
At this moment in time, because this is only, I said it was sort of early afternoon when you were at the corpse. Let's say you spent about an hour between doing the investigations. So it's getting on from mid to late afternoon now, because this is another hour after you left there. So you probably 2 or 3 hours travel if that you could still have and set up a camp.
We
Yeah.
travel for 2 more hours, and then we shall set up camp.
It sounds good. I hope you all brought tents.
I got ours.
And I take it so you travel another couple of hours, and there's nothing else of any particular note. Anyone that's starting to look for a good place to camp, survival checks, and explain what sort of thing that you're looking for.
19. Grash is looking for a space where there maybe is an overhang, where there's like a shore wall on the inside of the overhang, we'll say. So, bit of cover on the top, you can build a canopy off of, we'll say, but ultimately something so that he can put his back to something.
Yep, quite easy to find something like that, and exactly that, bit of an overhang. It's not quite a cave, but there's a wee sort of wedge behind it that goes back. You're not out of the rain entirely, but it gets you away from the worst of it. Absolutely, it's providing a reasonable amount of protection from the rain. So this is the first time all 4 of you are setting up camp together. What sort of nighttime or even just camp setting up routines? What does it look like?
I think Marion and Grash are pretty rehearsed in a certain way. Like, he will automatically start building a fire, and Grash will just start cracking branches, and just piling them next to him. Other than that, like, Grash is not talkative, so he's just like being quiet and just maybe the odd grunt here and there. If his clothes are truly soaking, he'll take them off and wring them.
Anyone with clothing and not wearing mage armor is absolutely wet to the ball sacks.
Is it still raining?
Yes, it is still raining. It has not relented at all.
I think everyone would see Airy pull out a small, just Venta black cube from his pocket, and then just start unfolding and unfolding and setting on the ground, and then unfolding and unfolding until there's like a 10-foot diameter circle on the ground, and then he just jumps in it and starts throwing stuff out of his wall.
And what sort of stuff do the other characters see coming out of the hole?
I think first is like a tent, and then a tent cover, and then a ground tarp, and then like inside another bag is a sleeping bag. And,
A cooler.
yeah, just some I've like a tapped barrel of ale that has a little tap at the bottom already, just kind of shows over the side. Just basically glamping.
He suddenly is wearing Ugg boots.
Yeah. And then he just like climbs out, folds it all back up, and then starts setting up his like tent.
Very fancy, Harry. Very fancy.
It did. I only have the best.
I noticed. As Moore is using mold earth to basically dig a little hole under the ground for himself.
Or you'd almost like do a little sort of dam to stop, because obviously there's water running down the mountainside, so you are molding earth to divert it away from where you're setting up camp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
also
cool.
like a little bit of a hole. And then using shape water to make ice cubes next to him.
You're such a strange party. It's freezing cold. I'm on a mountaintop, but I'm going to make ice cubes.
No, he makes the ice cubes and then he lets them slide down with the water. He just watches them go.
All right. Okay.
Okay, then.
And does anybody want some ale?
Yes.
I'll pass. I'll finish unpacking our tent.
Anybody want ice in their ale?
No.
No.
What is this?
Well, it's going down the mountain now, but I can always make more.
Why would you want it?
I don't know. I don't drink it, so I don't know.
You are
It's
very
just you and
strange.
me, Grashtar.
Yes.
Just pulls out a mug from inside his glamping tent and fills it and passes it over.
Thank you, Eri.
Yes, it is. It is good to always carry. You're basically your entire house everywhere you go.
You are very strange.
I travel a lot.
Yes. But you travel strangely.
I'd like to call it efficiently. Because I cannot carry all of this on my back. It is way too heavy.
I can imagine, yes.
Yeah, so I just put it all in the big pit, and then just take the pit with you.
You can either be strong or you can be smart.
Why do
Or
you
you
have to
can
be
have a
one or the
pit.
other?
Yeah, well, I mean, having a pit, a mobile pit, that's pretty smart.
I mean, it's not me who invented it.
Yeah, no. Most people don't even know who invented the spells anymore. Though I have lots of theory books about it. It's very interesting. Like prestidigitation. It was fine. I understand. I bought. I'm going to make a mud statue now, and he goes off and uses mold earth to like just make stuff.
It's like a snowman made out of mud and gravel and stuff, right? Okay. This is very odd, I like to see. So I take it you can get a fire going. There's, although it's damp, there's plenty of pine wood around, and there's enough of a sap content to strike a fire up and then getting. So you're starting to get warmer. There's enough of the rain continues unrelenting, but there's enough of an overhang in the fire that you're starting to slowly dry out. Steam rising from anyone's clothes that's been arranged around the fire to dry off for tomorrow. I take it after your chats and eating and stuff like that, you're just going to do watches and go to sleep, or has anyone got anything else particular they'd be doing?
Or we'll use shape water to bring all the water out of everybody's clothes.
That is nice.
We're doing that to Grashtar. He's very confused. Sort of panic looked on his face at first.
My blood!
I'm stealing your soul.
Please
But more-
ask first.
Oh, I thought you wanted to be dry, but I can put the water back in. I can make it ice if you want.
I know how to dry my clothes.
So do I.
I don't.
I had already dried my clothes.
Okay. I shall never dry your clothes again. Don't worry.
I don't even know how to.
It's a pretty good spell. I acquired it in the halls. It was very useful. It's the same one that makes ice.
I
What
kind
does
of
it do?
like it.
What is it with you and ice?
I don't know. I just felt like you getting ice in this mountain. I don't know why. Maybe it's the altitude that makes me want to make things cold out of that.
I can handle the first watch if you all want to get some sleep.
I will take the second.
I guess I'll take the third. I just need to meditate for a few hours.
Okay.
Well, I'll take the final one.
Okay. So, Eri, if you roll me a d20 to begin with.
18.
Okay. Your watch goes without any particular happening.
Yeah, when
Still
everyone's asleep.
miserable.
Oh.
No, you
Well,
go.
just when everyone's asleep, Ari does prayers. Does the praying thing. But it's more like, it's less like, oh, God, please watch over me. It's just like, hey, bud, how you doing? It's like drunk calling his God.
Thing is, I love this for your character as well, but it's something that she would be aware that if
Both.
sorry, they would be aware that actual priests and priestesses of the Veil would be, they'd be annoyed, but they'd be very sort of dismissive of it, because obviously it's a very sort of serious and boring religion as far as that's concerned. They're always very staid and stilted in their progression, very silent. So this sort of chatting away to the Veil is just like, it would be, yeah, they wouldn't understand it.
He's not very liked among his people. But like, yeah, they just think they're better than everyone else, because it's like, I have a close connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they like drunk call the Veil.
Does Eri ever get a sense of presence, or is it just like shouting at a blank wall?
I think most of the time it's like shouting at a blank wall, but on like certain nights of the month, full moon, I would imagine, or full moon or new moon, those two particularly, when there is like pure darkness. Is there a new moon?
Interestingly, the moon's just there. It's full moon all the time.
Okay. Then
so all the time.
No.
Actually, no.
When would it happen?
No, it would be. Actually, I'm trying to think about the way I have. It would the moon would always be full eclipse at night and full moon during the day.
Oh yeah.
So you can almost actually, as you're traveling in the lands, you can almost look up at the moon and tell what time it is by how much of the moon, and you watch the shadows come across the moon, and then you can say, all right, we're going to lose sunlight in an hour when it gets to this point. So there's no moon at night at all, never, and it's always a full moon during the day.
Okay. I think, okay, I will say every so often, I think Eri gets a response of sorts. I will determine what the conditions are later.
Sort of, shut the fuck up and go to sleep and stop calling me at 4 a.m.
Probably.
Yeah, anyway. That's fine. Who was on second watch? Okay. D20 from Grashtar.
11.
Okay, 11. Again, I think nothing particular happens. The rain continues, but it definitely abates a little bit. There's a slight lessening to the strength of the rain. The hailstones interspersed within its stop. But yeah, you think if this continues, it's going to be another miserable day's travel being soaked.
Grash
tomorrow.
spends his time just looking into the embers of the fire or whatever. However, I presume it's still going strong enough. Probably not usable, but it's
There's enough
Yeah.
wood around that it's absolutely up to you as a party. If you can keep it going all night, that wouldn't be a problem at all here.
well. He's just sort of looking into the fire. He uses his sense of hearing for his perception, and he is just, I suppose, as he's watching over his campmates and listening out, just every now and again he'll just start maybe look down at the long sword that he has and just consider why anyone would possibly want anything better than that. Not really understand, but at the same time he's thinking about it when he never thought about it before.
Mm-hmm. So when you were talking about perception, you were wanting to do something specific, like much more active listening or something. Was that what you were meaning?
Well, just when he's doing like a check for a watch or whatever, he will more than likely be using his ears more than his eyes.
Yeah, roll another perception check. That's fine.
19.
I think probably about halfway through your watch, just on not quite the edge of your hearing, but definitely quite a distance away to the duskward of you, you just hear a and then after a bit point of silence, it's joined and it seems to be 5 or 6 other voices, and then silence, and then you can hear a response even further away. Again, another sort of pack. None of them seem to be that close or worrying, but there's wolves in the area, definitely.
Sort of takes solace in that, because the wolves will let you know before anybody else who's there and what's there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And yeah, so when he comes to the end of his watch, if that is all that happens on his watch, he will just rouse the old man.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Oh, yes.
There are
I was
wolves.
deep.
Do not tell them where we are.
I don't speak wolf.
You don't have to.
Very true. The language of violence
night.
is very universal, isn't it?
Good night.
Isn't it universal?
Crashtar's sleeping or trying to. He's just laying down.
He just sort of awkwardly wraps himself in, like, I don't know, one of his garments that was drying, and just sort of turns into the wall that he set up his camp against and just blanks you.
It allows you to speak with all creatures, doesn't it, warrior?
What does?
The language of violence.
Everybody understands that language.
That's why it's universal.
You speak wisely.
But one should also learn how to speak.
What?
He turns around.
What does
Once
that mean?
one learns. It means that once one learns the intricacies of a language, one must learn to speak well and better. You can commune with the wolf. You can commune with the giant. You can commune with the monster in the woods. But the language you both speak, can you not?
Commune?
Yes.
In a sense.
You should meditate on the way you speak.
I do not meditate. I am not an elf.
Then
Nice.
think on it.
Good night.
Good night, warrior. May you learn all your words for tomorrow.
And then Moore basically just sits and watches.
D20 from you.
Just a straight D20.
Mhm.
8.
Okay. Nothing again of any particular note happens, but the one thing to say is during your watch, the rain starts to pick up again with intensity, and there are the few rumbles of thunder above you, as though there's somebody in an upstairs flat moving furniture around or something.
Yeah, and it's the cool beans. And I mean, he'll use Mage Hand to tend the fire ever so often.
Mhm.
Maybe remove some water that gets into it.
Absolutely. That's not a problem at all. Does he do anything else on his alone time, or just literally just sit there doing that?
No, I mean, it's important to watch, so that's what he's doing. Every so often, he might just get a little bit bored, and he'll use minor illusion just to sort of, as far away as he can, he'll make like a little bunny just to see what.
No, nothing is tempted by your bunny lures. That's fine. And I take it your watch goes, and do you wake up Marion when the time comes?
Nah, more just sits there. He sits there for a little while extra. Then he wakes Marion. But during his watch, Moore will use prestidigitation to make sort of lenses along his arm, and he'll gaze up at whatever he can see up in the sky.
Okay.
He's stargazing, if he can.
Yeah, you can absolutely stargaze. Because although the moon's shrouded in darkness, especially if you have something like a telescope, you'll still be able to see it, and you'll be able to see stars and things as well. Well, actually, you would normally, but you won't at the moment because it's so wet. Obviously, it's cloud cover. So, sorry, I was forgetting that. So normally that would be something that you would be able to do, but it's too cloudy to be able to do that at this night.
Okay. Then he'll just use little magic tricks here and there. Direct water, remove water.
Marion, can I get a D20 for your watch?
It's just like an impatient old man, just can't sit still, just constantly casting stuff.
Are we there yet?
A 6.
A 6.
I'm cold and there's wolves after me.
Oh, I'm cold and there's wolves. Better make ice.
And a lure.
What is our magic ice?
Marion, your watch goes the same way as the others. Everything is calm and quiet, but the thunder becomes a bit more regular, a little bit louder, and the rain is still pretty persistent. But soon it's the morning. You see the tendrils of light starting to brighten, and the incredibly black sky goes to iron grey. It's one of those skies where you can't see clouds. It's just like there's a grey ceiling for as far as the eye can see that's leaking, pissing rain. You wake up your companions and have your breakfast, and I take it you're on the road quite quickly.
More prepares his spells.
Mm-hmm. Are you changing any of the spells that you've had prepared before, or?
Nah, no.
Okay.
He's just memorizing.
No, that's fine. It's just so I know if you're changing your spell book or anything. That's fine.
Yeah, Grash will just pick up and kick dirt on the fire, and just start to tear down whatever makeshift canopy he had made.
Yep, that's fine. The fire sizzles and goes out quite quickly because obviously so much of the soil's just sodden, even with the ministrations of Moore and his water spell. That's fine. And if no one else has anything, you're back on the road again, and a survival check.
Everything goes back in the hole.
Well, no, fell off the table. That's a jack though. 16.
Yep, you're easy to find the path and continue. The
Just started torrential raining here, so I'm in the zone with this game. Carry on.
Yeah, it's been torrential raining here the whole time we've been streaming. It's like, but my car's basically getting power washed for
Same,
free.
same, dude. Cannot
I
complain.
feel old and tired, so I'm already in character.
Yeah, the terrain sort of continues. The thunder sort of rises to a crescendo. That's not easy for me to say. And there's a few lightning strikes, not directly around you, but you can see it hitting peaks and things. And then slowly the rain reduces and stops until there's a few wee patches of whiter clouds above you. There's still a sort of what we call in Scotland a schmear in the air, which is just that. It's almost like low clouds, so there's just tiny wee bits of moisture in the air. It's not quite mist or fog or anything. You can see fine in it, but it still soaks you through. And yeah, you find your way. After probably about late morning, just as you're starting to think about looking for somewhere to stop for your lunch, everyone make a perception check.
Sorry, dirty 20. I was muted on stream. Dirty 20.
Natural
23.
20, but -1.
What does that mean?
That means I got a natural 19.
Oh no, it doesn't mean
That's a
you got a
natural 20.
natural 19.
Unnatural 19.
16.
Okay.
I love -1 perception. That's my favorite. That's my favorite skill to have.
And Marion?
23.
Okay. You all hear you're coming into a bit, so you've come down over the top of a scree slope banking, and you're starting to slide your way down. And in front of you, then there's another sort of like a small gully within the path, the trail that you're sort of following. And the bottom of the gully is filled with shrubs, and there's a few smaller sort of gnarled trees there. And as you're about halfway down the scree slope, you all become aware that there is something in the trees and the scrub at the bottom. Seems quite big as well.
Does it seem quite owlberry? That like
It could possibly be owlberry.
Are we downwind or upwind from it?
Actually, make a luck roll. So give me just a flat D20, and let's see what way the wind's blowing.
That is a 12.
Yeah, we'll say it's blowing in your face from the side, so you don't think it'll have smelt you at the moment. But you weren't exactly moving quietly, so it's probably heard you. Whatever's there.
If you hold on, I will send the Tvelehaula Himmler over to go and check it out.
What?
My pixie.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, I'll just check out what it is real fast.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, are you
Just do it.
just to remind us? Are you looking through its eyes, or is
I
it
can
just
do that. Yes, I can communicate telepathically or look through its eyes.
And which are you choosing to do at the moment? So
I'm
depict.
gonna
It'll be a slight different description.
I'm gonna look through its eyes.
Okay. So what do the other characters see as you take over its perception?
I think Ari props themselves up with their spear and like kind of leans on it because they go deaf and blind. the veil covers a little bit of it, but their eyes just go full black and kind of just like leans and keeps himself upright, seeing through the pixie.
So the pixie goes down, and as you get closer in that form, it's definitely something big, as the sort of bushes are shaking and like water's rolling off the leaves, and sort of tiptoe forward and look in, and you are face to face with a huge owlbear face that's sort of snuffling at you. And it's sort of, do you back away? Do you go forward? Or
I think the pixie's like staring, like I think because I'm not like I can like tell the pixie what to do, but it's still its own thing. So I think the pixie's like standing perfectly still because they're invisible, but they don't know that like they could probably still be smelt. They're just like just like sucks in a breath and all.
Like lots of huge shuffling and stuff like that,
and then very, very slowly like puts the bush back where it is and backs up slowly and then flies away as fast as possible.
And I think just before you fly away as fast as possible, I think the others up the scree slope, you see the owlbear coming out of the bush and sniffing things. So you see it's sort of its front quarter. You all make perception checks.
It is an owl bear.
Dirty 20.
Jabber,
again?
you can also make a perception check for the pixie as well. Dirty 20.
14.
14?
14.
14?
I don't know what the pixie's wisdom is, but if it's my own eyes, it's a 17.
Yeah. Okay. So those of you that got 16 or above, so Jabber and Dombro, you just get, as it's pushing through the shrubs to show itself, a branch catches on its feathers and sort of pushes it, and you see this seems to have a yellow collar with a very similar bell. You hear a wee, even above the rain and stuff, I hear a ding, and there seems to be a name tag on it as well.
What does it say?
You can only assume this is, well, you can't read it, but you can only assume that this is Lily.
Follow me.
And Grash is going to start going with the wind in an arc.
It is the pet. Be careful.
I know, but
And you can see as though you're going with the wind. You can see it lock eyes, and it's not acting aggressively, but it knows you're there.
Yeah, I think what Grash essentially, he doesn't want to. If it was to smell, it might therefore become more wild to the situation. So just gently, calmly arcing, giving it all the room in the world.
And where are you arcing?
I'm arcing around it to the other side of it to continue past
right, okay,
it.
Yeah. All right, okay.
Like
what
trying to
are the rest
avoid
of you
this if I can, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. What are the rest of you doing?
Do the same. I'll follow completely.
Why are we going after this creature?
We're not
We're
going
not.
after
We're
going
going
around
around.
it.
Oh, okay.
Fall in line.
I'll try.
But yeah, like I mean, it wouldn't be hard for you to keep up. Like Grash is moving very slowly, very tentatively, and purposefully. So like it.
But I'm very old.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter because if you're going,
he would.
Make a animal handling check, Crash.
oh man,
I usually handle animals a lot differently.
I bet.
that's a 4.
So it doesn't attack you, but it sees you going past, and it sort of charges through the undergrowth, and there's great snapping of twigs until it comes to a halt about 10 or 15 feet in front of you, and it's just sniffing away. Obviously, you're keeping the wind, so there's not in the all the rain and stuff. So it doesn't seem to be doing it. It's almost like it's I can't smell you. Why can't I smell you? Because I can see you. It's acting defensively, but it's not acting as though it's about to attack at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think Grash will just sort of keep his eyes locked with it and encourage the rest of them to move past him and towards he'll point out a place where he was aiming for.
Go.
And he will try and keep his eyes.
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
checking.
make it- Sorry, on you go.
I'm just checking to see if my sprite can talk to animals, but that's a pseudo dragon, I think.
Okay. Make another animal handling check, Grash.
17.
Okay. It seems to lock with you. It hasn't changed its demeanor or anything, but as the others, if they're doing that, it doesn't seem to stop them as they move forward. At this point, can I ask who took Billy's?
I didn't take it anyway.
I did.
Okay. Okay. What order are you traveling in? Is it the same Marion and then Eri and then more, or?
Sure.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you all get past Grash and to where he's doing, but as soon as Marion gets upwind from the owlbear, it snuffles its nose again and spins and starts charging towards you. And again, it stops, but this time not 10 or 15 feet away. It's right up in your face, and it's snuffling away at your backpack and making odd noises, grumbling noises in its throat.
I assume I can see it's.
Yes, now it's right up in your face. You can see that it's got a very similar collar on.
Marungadash
Well,
is
he does understand that it has.
Moore's owl comes out of
So-
his clothing.
Oh.
Sorry, Emeros, you're cutting off there. I wasn't quite hearing what you were saying there.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, he understands. Can put two and two together. Like, oh, it has noticed the sense of the collar, and I think he will take a gamble and, try and hold up his hand as to say, try and stall it, or make him wait a bit and then put down his backpack and see if he can be allowed to take out the collar.
Okay. You make an animal handling check, and in the meantime, More, what were you saying about your owl?
It flies over, and it kind of just it also goes to seem interested by the owl, by the backpack.
Mhm.
Like it looks at the big owl bear and then at the backpack. Like it's trying to figure out why it's so interested.
I rolled the 9, so 19.
Okay. I think you managed to do what you're doing. It's not backing off or anything. It's still intent on what Marion is doing, but it doesn't do anything aggressive whilst you put your pack down and slowly retrieve.
Doesn't react.
No. It does get a little bit more agitated and snuffles even more when you actually retrieve the collar, but not aggressively.
I think Grash will move towards them And as he's
It's kind of forgotten you at this moment.
no, I know,
like,
but as I'm coming around by its backside and its hind, as it's not paying attention to me, he's just
But what?
just so that it knows that he's there.
Yep. Someone that's been around horses. I recognize that.
They're in my field that way, about 10 meters. I don't own them.
Yeah.
I'm not a horse owner. Lest anyone think I'm rich.
I used to work with horses, so I recognize that. Yeah, does that. It kind of turns and looks at you a couple of times, but again, it's not a thing. So, Marion, you've got this out. It seems to be even more. You might wouldn't describe it as agitated, but it's getting there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it on the ground and attempt to step back.
You do that, and it starts sort of pecking at it and like, looking around. So what are you all doing?
I think Grash will just sort of, if he can get closer to Marion at all, just start tugging him towards, like, come on, let's go. Well, there's a distraction going on. You won't say anything. Just keep moving.
Just
Make I think this would be Marion as well. Just make one last animal handling.
Morse owl just stands in front of the owl bear, just looking at it.
that's 6.
6. Okay. So you start moving off, and that's fine. It just picks up the collar in its beak, and if anything, it looks kind of sadly at you and makes a sort of noise, and it just turns tail and rushes off in the undergrowth.
It kept the collar.
The collar
The
with
collar.
The owl flies up and looks where the owl bear runs.
Yeah, it seems to be crashing off, not following the exact path that you came here by, but certainly rushing off in that general direction.
That was lucky.
Hey, I trusted you. I thought you had this.
Well, if you mean by have it that I could kill it, yes. But I did not want to.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And they came to understand what happened, or at least it will now confirm its suspicion.
Possibly.
We should be moving.
Yeah, I don't wait around.
That's fine. You move on, and after about another hour's travel, the rain has completely stopped. There's now sort of those billowy, white, fluffy clouds with the odd wee patch of blue sky in between. The temperatures come up a little bit, so it's a wee bit more pleasant. And you soon come across a sort of mountaintop glade, so a couple of 100 yards wide, sort of a wider gully, going back with a steep cliff at the Duskward side, and there seems to be a strange little shack with looks like a stream coming out the bottom of it, just sit into underneath that cliff face. And Grash, you're pretty sure this is roughly the location that is pointed out on your map.
So before anything, he will go about searching very carefully for big footsteps, big breaks, things like that, just on the off chance that there's going to be someone either here that's big and scary, or basically he's just doing his checks.
Not a problem at all. Yeah, roll. Your survival, sorry.
Yeah. It's a 15.
Yep. With a 15, there are signs of large things moving around. But with a 15, you're fairly sure it's the owlbears that you're seeing rather than the creatures' tracks that you have come across before.
Marion,
Yeah,
you will need to speak.
as always. Don't worry, big guy. Got it. Marion starts to slowly walk towards the shack.
Mm-hmm. And this bit, there is a little bit of a path. Someone sort of put a bit of, obviously like broken up stones and made a little bit of a path here that goes along. And there's a rickety old, ill-fitting wooden door.
And I think when he's about 20 feet away from the shack,
Mm-hmm.
he will start to, not at the top of his lungs, but he will start to shout out like, "Hello, what was his name again? Hey, I had it. Oh, god damn it, I had it a second ago.
Oh, the name of the guy?
Yeah,
I closed the page. It's like Hamir.
Hamir.
Hamir. Yeah, Hamir.
Yeah. I closed
Hello, is Hamir home? And as he does that, he looks around to see if the owl bear is is present and
You
not
can't-
about to jump him.
You can't see an owlbear. And there's a little bit of a silence, and then there's a sort of rattling of tins or something clattering from inside, and then there's the door opens a wee crack that you can't really see, and like, who's out there? You bandits!
Bandits? No. Don't you know? I'm Marion.
Well, leave an old gnome alone.
No Malone.
No. No. Sorry, we won't be bothering you for long, but we just wanted to. Oh, God.
Door shuts.
He walks over to the door, knocks.
He gets electrocuted.
Hello? Who's there?
Bowling ball falls on his head.
It's still me.
Oh, I told you bandits to go away.
We're not bandits.
Make a perception
Where-
check.
That's 15.
Okay. You can hear what's obviously a crossbow being cocked.
Nah,
Go on, leave me alone.
calm down. I just want to talk. We heard you saw a big creature here a while ago. Is that true?
We are here to kill it.
Now you do sound like a bandit. How many of you have out there?
There's 4 of us. We've been hunting this thing for about a day now, ever since we found tracks of it. We're monster hunters, you see, or something.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah. That's a 22.
Okay. And there's a little bit of a pause, and you can almost hear the cogs turning in his head. The door creaks open. There's a sort of latch, and a lock goes. The door creaks open again, but this time it's open about halfway. And this sort of raggedy, white-haired, old, sort of 3-foot-tall gnome sort of sticks his head out, and he's going, "You sure you're not bandits?"
Well,
It-
if we would have been bandits, we wouldn't have announced our approach, would we?
I don't know. You might be stupid bandits.
I am a
Nowhere.
religious man. I do not steal from people.
I'm a traveler.
I am a warrior.
That is not a bandit. Bandit is not my class.
I have a different character background.
Yeah, a wizard can't be a bandit unless it's a bandit wizard. Come.
Look, we found out from the village that you might have seen something about these creatures or this.
If you come to make fun of me as well, they laugh me out of town.
We're here to laugh you back into town. Because you will have the last laugh. Because this creature is real.
He just sort of his
That's
eyes
stupid.
squints at you, sort of like, I don't know what you just said to me, but if you're going to take the mickey out of me, I'm going to shoot you right in the crotch.
Enough.
I'd also have. He did not bring it up, but we also. I don't know if this is a good time, but I'm going to say it anyway. But we have bad news for you.
Not the best time.
Unfortunate.
No,
No, I will wait then.
What
Hey,
bad news?
I
you've
I
spilled
think
the
he should-
beans, Harry.
yeah, but I did not want
friend.
to hide it. He should
Marion
know.
talks. Everyone knows that.
I did not know
We-
that.
When coming here, we discovered a foul deed had been committed against one that you have adopted as one of your own. We found a
And-
collar.
while you two are starting to talk to this gnome, Marion turns to Crash and just, like, I'm the one that does the talking. Me? What's going on?
I think we're about to lose our witness.
We discovered the body when we were traveling through the woods. A foul deed had been committed against little Billy.
The
Is that the name,
creature.
Billy?
Yeah, it was Billy. The creature that you warned everybody about, but nobody believed has come through this area, and we would like to deal with it because I believe that it has now affected you in a greater way than you imagined.
And he just sort of he crumples to his knees, drops the crossbow, and as you see now, it's this like huge, like heavy crossbow, but it looks like he's carrying a siege engine because he's like a tiny wee gnome. It's like a human with a ballista, and he just puts his head in his hands. He starts sobbing and like, "Oh, Billy, he's been missing for days. I've had to. Oh, Billy, what am I going to do?
I'm also
Lily's
sick.
out there looking for him."
He is still. We
That-
met him on the road, and he found the collar that we were to present to you. He took it and he left. We did not have the power to stop him from leaving and returning to the safety of your presence.
Luckily for you, the other one still lives.
Yes. A family might lose one, but as long as it stays together, there will still be.
Why did you let Lily run off into the woods? You should have brought her home to her pappy.
Unfortunately, we are not animal husbands, and we did not want to harm the creature.
We also did
that-
not know how far you were,
And I don't speak Albert.
and
Owlbears don't speak any language. He just he's taken out of his sorrow for a second, and he sort of remembers and just starts crying again.
Yeah, they did not. I like to front load my conversations with bad news, so that is. We would like to help you. Keep your other owl bear safe, and it would be fantastic if we could go and get rid of this weird thing.
Marion talks.
Look,
Yeah,
we've just
I already messed it up. I'm sorry. You can keep talking, Marion.
No, Ari, make a persuasion check because you were
It's
doing
Grash
the
saying
talking.
that, not
Even
Dumbro, by the way.
against,
Talk away, Jabber.
against all orders.
That's fine. I'm a warlock. A charisma is my stat.
I know.
22.
This is not a max minning
No.
show.
No, it's not.
What?
It's not. If I would have said that if my charisma was a -1. I would have still said the same stuff.
Yep.
22.
He's still crying, and you're still not getting much sense out to him. There's a big like bead of snot coming out of his mouth, but you think your words are starting to turn him around and things at the moment.
More will help him up. Us old folks need to stay together now.
I'm younger than I look. I'm only 700 years old.
So young.
Really? Yes.
What is
You
with all
look
these old
like you
people?
could be. You look
I
like you
don't
could be
get
no more
this.
than 400.
You've still got the youthful glow about you.
And such strength, you lifted that crossbow. And More will attempt to lift it, and it'll not.
Oh, give me that. And as he grabs it off you, it sort of misfires and thunks into the door. And this is like, I'm always doing that. I don't know why I got such a big thing. I can't handle it. If you had been bandits, you'd have been able to murder me quite easily.
We know.
No,
Yeah.
there's still strength in those old bones. Don't worry about that. You could take on the bandits.
The only reason I'm still alive out here on my own is because of Billy and Lily. Oh, Billy. I'm going to miss
Lily
him
is
so much. He's the sweetest little boy.
Well, who knows? Maybe Lily can find a nice boy out here, and they could have little chicks. Would they have chicks or cubs?
I think they lay eggs.
He just looks at you as if this is like a little bit soon. Although Moore might not understand that. I know that.
No, More is in the contemplation of would they be cubs or chicks?
More is thinking about ice cubes right now, so.
they would be chubs, and that's
Owlbear chubs.
Oh. Look at that owlbear chub peeking out of the bush.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cute.
It's a bushel of chubs.
Like a murder of crows. A bushel of chubs. That's
In the
canon.
nest. Looking in the nest.
Coming
we
soon, the
discovered
world.
only open.
No, Dan, we're still skirting. We're okay. We're okay.
That's fine. But I think as you continue to console him and he sort of turns and invites you into his wee shack, I think it might be a wee bit early, but I think it might be a good point to sort of pause and we can start next week's stream with his story that he has to tell and your gentle interrogation of him. My words, not yours.
Yeah.
Does that suit everybody?
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I
Yeah, I
use,
think it makes sense.
can I use shape water to take water out of his body?
No.
Okay, then it will be gentle.
I guess we're not having ice.
We're not having ice.
Ice.
I mean, there's a stream coming out the front of his house, so there's plenty of water around.
All right. If we're wrapping up there, I will get off and do my thing.
Yeah, we've got quite a
And that is, did we caught most of last week's as they were coming flooding in at the end
I mean,
there?
some of them.
But yeah, we got. I will thank Shaka Panda and Vic the Viking for hosting us today. That this early at the beginning of this stream, it was fantastic. Thank you. Happy to have you all pop in all the time, and we love all of your followers that are nice to us.
Yeah.
And
which,
then
which is all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
yeah, all of them.
I don't know.
No, I said we love your followers, which are nice to us. So like, whom are nice to us? Yeah. It's English. It's American English. Doesn't make sense.
It's a
Don't
bit
worry about it.
it's just the colonial butchering the
Yeah,
language.
that's how we do things here. If we did miss anything, Vigdis, I think we might have got you at the end there. Who knows? Thanks for the follow last week. Purple Curl, Arya Shade Slayer 1, Hanzu 286. I think you were here in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hanzu. Machen Gaming Bro, Elandros, and yeah, those folks. Just to reiterate last week, because it was kind of flooded at the end that we just kind of all just rambled all with give you all some.
The one thing I'd like to add this week is our giveaway came to an end. We were giving away a set of dice, and the winner was Danny23077896. So thank you for everyone that took part, and I'm sure we shall have another giveaway at something in the future.
And Danny won himself some lovely Gollum dice, which are up on screen there now for you.
Oh, you've got them on screen. Cool.
Yeah. They're nice dice. They would be really good for this character.
Oh, Mei Chen.
So nice. I bought 2 pairs so I could keep one for myself.
Well, there you go.
I'm using them today. Anyway, sorry, Jabber. I just thought I'd butt in.
No, it's all good. I forgot what we decided last week. Let me see if I can scroll up.
We did get another host just now.
We did.
Yeah, that was Dan jumping in. I forgot what they said we should say at the end of the stream last week, because it's tradition around here to make something up and never end properly.
Yeah, our ending is it's sort of cerebral, and it's almost like we don't know how to get out of here. So it's like we keep trying to leave.
It's because we don't want to leave you guys.
It's actually true. Well, last week especially, because there's like all of a sudden 30 people in chat, and we were like, But I think our line was keep on rolling. Keep the dice rolling. Keep on keeping on. Stay golden pony boy. Oh, there's actually more. There's more follows and stuff that I think was missed.
Yeah, probably. We'll get them next. We'll get them next week.
Well, I just if you go onto our page and there's a notification bell.
Oh yeah.
And you can see there's 3 I can see there, or 4 actually.
I'm not in the. Let me switch over mixers.
All right, man.
Log out. Sign in.
I love the technical live stuff. It's brilliant.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, this is our brand, you know. Like, we don't really know how anything works. We get it to a place where it looks like we might know what we're doing, but we don't. We absolutely don't.
I don't have any notifications because I just logged in. Let me check it. God dang this
Okay,
whole freaking system.
I know, man. It's new, you see. We're used to a competitor to Mixer. You can say Twitch.
There we go. Okay. The Piper Hart followed us. Nope.
Yay.
Our followers. There it is. Acetromum, Vigios, Haiku Art, Starzine, Danny 230777896, KNCN, the Loigeh, Loigeh, and Exiled Wolf Suzuka.
Exiled Wolf came today from Vic's stream, so I was talking to him over there. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Thank you.
I now know how to find followers, so I will get those better next time.
Oh, one thing before we go. The YouTube stuff. Do we have any updates on that?
I mean, it's up there.
Is it live and everything now?
No, you can make it live.
Well, that'll be going live this evening. Will be episode 1. So if anyone has actually missed, it'll be up on our YouTube this evening at some stage. Yeah. So please go and enjoy it. Are we good to get on out of here?
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. We'll see you next week, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Eyes to see the new people. Bye, everyone.
See you later.